Hello everyone and welcome to the 5th episode in our Snippet Manager tutorial series. Now in this video we are going to be doing the last step, which is replacing our user input with our desired snippet. And basically this one can also, I guess, be broken down into a couple subtasks, like we want to delete the queue, and then we want to type the snippet. So I guess those are our 2 steps for this video. So let's go ahead and do a quick recap. Let's run our code so far, and then let me just switch into the right folder. All right, so we have this code, remember, and yep, it also does that because I need to close this again. Keep forgetting, and then let's rerun it. So again, if I type in hello space world. We type our character minus, which is terminating. We want to replace hello world with goodbye world. So we already have that in our code. Like, we know we want to replace what we have so far with what's in here. So basically the first step is going to be deleting this. We want to hit backspace 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 times. And the way I calculate that is basically we take the length of the queue, obviously. We want to delete once. We take the length of the terminating character, and then we take the length of the queue, 2, and we also want to delete twice. And then we just take the length of the keyword, and we just delete every character in there. So yeah, that's how we're going to end up doing it. Now, so yeah, that's our first step, and we basically can do that in here. So we want to say, you know, we know if the if statement in here is true, we want to actually replace the user command and what the user has typed in with what we want to do. So the first step would be to delete everything. So the way we actually do that is we are using the NodeJS library. So we're going to want to go ahead and take a look at the documentation again if we don't know something. And obviously we need to figure out how to delete or how to hit the backspace key at least. So let's take a look through here, and if you remember, there's the examples right here. And then we come here, automate keyboard input, and boom. So we get our basic documentation here. There's configuration, auto delay ms, and this is actually a big one. One thing that I will address later, but for now we can use the press key and release key functions here. Press key will press and hold multiple keys. Release key will release multiple keys. So all we're gonna have to do is type in or did we import it yet? No, we're gonna have to import it up here. So const nut.js equals require, I think it's what, at nut-tree / or maybe it's just, oh, I misspelled require, and then we should get nut-tree / nut.js. So yeah, now we have the library right here. And then we want to take it right here and then go ahead and do a nut.js dot. And then we can do press or, oh, my bad. So we're gonna, again, sorry, this is my bad, but they actually showed it right here how to properly use this. So instead of importing the whole thing, we're gonna import keyboard and key, like that. And then we're gonna say keyboard and, okay, so actually one thing, it wants us to use an async function. So if you don't know what async is in JavaScript, it's basically a function that can run outside of the regular time. And to kind of better explain, code normally runs from top to bottom. The code will run this line, or will run this line, and then this, whoops, and then it'll keep going down. But if it hits an async function, like an async, this is an async arrow function, but you can also say function or async function test, and then this is also an async function. If it runs test, it will come here, this line, this line, this line, this line, and then it'll start running test, but it'll keep going and keep running code below. So this test function is running out of time, in one word. It is running alongside the rest of all this code. So, you know, basically that's to increase performance, to make the program run faster, because you can run multiple pieces of code at once instead of waiting for one piece of code to finish. So that's what an async function is. And let's go ahead and just create an async function actually up here. We'll just say async function replace keyboard. So, or we could say async function, replace keyboard, which this function will basically delete the keys and then replace them. So we can say we can create a for loop, and we're going to want to pass in a couple things. We want to pass in our snippet, basically, or our, snippet object. And notice that so then here we're going to come and call replace keyboard, and we're going to pass in an object that we create, and we're going to basically give it key, or to replace with key, and then we're going to give it snippet is the value. So that's basically to replace will have the word like hello world, and then snippet will have like the goodbye world, the thing to replace with. So I equals 0, and then we want to say delete length. So we're going to create a constant delete length is equal to our terminating character dot length plus the q dot length. Remember, we want to delete all these characters, and then plus the snippet object dot to replace, which is the hello world dot length. And then that should be all we need. And then once we have that running, we want to run it for I equals 0, I is less than delete length, so we want to run it that many times. And then we want to say keyboard dot press key, and then we want to add an await, of course, because we're looking at the documentation here to the right. Keyboard dot press key, and then key dot backspace, and then we want to basically copy and paste this line, and instead of pressing, we want to release the key. So let's see what happens when we run this, because this will do something. Finally, we have something working. Let's go to Google really quick. Oh, whoops. Looks like there's a small syntax error. To read and see what's the problem. There is no noticeable problem. Let me take a bigger or deeper look into this. OpenCV for NodeJS. Node is not valid. Oh, I see here. This seems to be a problem with our library. Okay, so this seems to maybe be a problem with our installation. So I'm going to go ahead and come back into the folder, Snippet Manager 5, and then we're going to do an npm uninstall at nut-tree/nut.js, or let me just make sure that's the right thing. -js. Let's see. Refusing to delete. Okay, so this seems to be a problem here. Let's actually go ahead and just delete the node modules. So whenever you have an error like this, this is some weird file system error. So I'm just gonna go ahead and delete the node modules folder and then just rerun npm I or npm install, and that'll refresh all of our packages because I guess something got corrupted in our node modules. So great, that is installing, and it is. Yep. Okay, there we go. So it's done, and then now let's go ahead and retry. And no more error. See? So that was just the problem. It was just a random file input error. So let's type in our, oh, whoops. So let's refresh, I guess. Let's retry this. Okay. So we're going to run our that, and then hello space world minus. And then notice it's deleting our hello world one by one. And the first concern you may have is, why is it so slow? And of course, that gets me to the thing I was going to say, which is this auto delay ms right here. We just need to basically update this. So right here in this first line here, we'll say keyboard, and then let me stop this program here. Keyboard.config.autodelayms is equal to 0, and then let's see what happens. So that should, if notice, configures the delay between key presses, which right now is really big. And then let's go ahead and try it again. Hello space world minus. And it's still just as slow. And the reason for this is in actually somewhat of a bug in Nut.js. And I remember running into this. So Nut-js, let's troubleshoot here. Keyboard or auto delay, ms not working. So right there, and then, or yeah, auto delay ms not working, key press. So let's see here. I guess there's no noticeable thing that we can find, so let's go to their GitHub again. And then another place that you can look is in the issues section of a page, and then we can look at the closed. Or wait, is this the, oh no, this is my, yeah. So we come here to TrailMix, or to NodeJS. Let me see. Right here. Nut-js, or let me just look it up again. Nut-js. So you come here to their npm, and then you open up their GitHub repository. And then here on their GitHub repository, you want to go to the Issues tab. And then you want to go and just remove any of the filters and just say auto delay ms. And I'll just search here. Okay, there. This is the biggest. I think this is where I found it. Keyboards, methods, press key and release key, ignore, update, auto delay ms. So that's what I'm doing. I'm updating it, but it's ignoring because it's still just as slow as it was before. And then description, not for these. The delay has to be updated with keyboard.nativeadapter.keyboard.setKeyboardDelay. So it's just saying you have to update it, and it's complaining that it's inconsistent, but we can actually use that function now, and then just type in 0, and this should work. If I run Node.js, and then watch. So we go to Google, and then we type in our Q, hello space world minus, and boom, it's gone, just like that. So,
here's a result from search.
Oops. Guess I said Google. So yeah, that's basically solving our problem by removing all of the keys. And then I guess our next step would be to simply replace keyboard, and then we want to say type, or actually no, then we could type the replacement. So then once we replace the keyboard in here, there's a much simpler function that we can run, keyboard.type, and then we can just say type our snippet object.snippet, and boom. This should finish up our program. So we just type in that, whoops, and we just type in this, hello space world minus goodbye world, and it replaces it with our goodbye world. And that's exactly what my program does. Now I'm going to go ahead and wrap up because I'm pretty sure we are low on time here, but we have successfully done all of these. And what I have a couple challenges for you. So next challenges. One challenge for you would be to use a trie instead of a for loop to, let me clear this. Use a trie instead of a for loop to find our snippet. And then another kind of challenge would be intercept backspace with intercept backspace, which would be right here. So before we add user input to msgCharacter, we would actually want to check, is the character a backspace? And we could use the key character msg.keychar for that. And then instead of running this, we would want to instead just remove one character from the end because backspace doesn't get handled properly. So intercept backspace before we run this right here. Whoops. Before that, and remove last character from input. So I guess those are two of the next challenges, and both of these are actually implemented in my version of the program, and that just adding these two components would basically mean you have my Snippet Manager program, and that's exactly what I built. It took me a couple of hours one day, and I thought I would take a couple of days to kind of share how I built it, and for anyone else who's interested. And I will probably be releasing the source code of my original program at some point in the future, not directly after this. But yeah, if you guys are interested, go ahead and leave a comment down below if you guys really want the source code of my original program. Because I did not base any of this off of the source code. I was learning as I went again. And notice this code is not 100% the same as my other code, because every time you redo something, it's going to look slightly different because it's an art. Coding is an art, not a science. Well, completely disregard that. Coding is an art and a science. So yeah. I hope you enjoyed this couple of videos. If you want to see kind of the journey that we went through creating this whole program, you can go ahead and check out the playlist, which is linked in the description. If you enjoyed the video, please consider giving it a like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for notifications whenever I post new videos. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.